Hey guys, this is my first video of the new year. We are going to be doing some really cool optical illusion art today. And here is my first example. And I did this one all by myself and I am so excited with how it turned out. I think it looks so awesome. So I'm going to just show you the first steps really quick on how to do it. And then I really want you guys to get to it and start creating your own really cool pieces. So let's go. So I did my first example on white paper because I really wanted to show you that contrast of white and black together. But I think for this next one, I'm going to do it on colored paper just to show you how cool it looks with color too. So I'm going to put that white aside and we're just going to use red right now. Flip it over. Okay, so the first step is I'm going to take about the center. I'm going to find about the center of my page and I'm going to draw just a tiny little dot in the center. I'm going to put a dot just like that. I hope you guys can see that in my video. It's very tiny, but that's all you need as a guide. And then you're going to take your ruler. This one happens to be the longest ruler ever known to mankind ever. I don't know where my small ruler is, so we're just going to use this giant one right now. I think it fell behind my desk and I can't find it. Anyways, I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up with my dot. My dot is right there. And I'm going to line up my ruler. It doesn't matter if you go corner to corner on this. It just matters that you draw 5 straight lines through the center of your page. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So here's my first line all the way down. And then I'm going to speed it up and I'm going to draw 4 more lines after this to show you what that looks like. You can't lay down there, buddy. You just can't. Okay. Yeah, hi. Okay, like I try to get rid of this cat and hi, buddy. Okay, let's come over here. All right. So one of my lines turned out a little bit crooked, and that's okay. We're gonna see if we can make it work. So the next step, Stash, go. And the next step is to draw like you're in the middle. And if I'm looking at this section right here, this is the one I'm gonna work on. I'm going to draw almost like little smiley faces. And I found that 5 is my magic number in this project. We did 5 lines and we're going to draw about 5 curved lines up here. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to draw like a smiley mouth here. We're going to do, it's called concave because it's kind of caving into the middle. That's how I remember it. It's caving into the center. And then I'm going to draw my next section up here. And that's going to be my first section. You don't have to color it in right away, but I'm going to show it to you right now so you get the idea. So I'm going to draw a little, I'm going to color it in like black like that. Okay, so then my next one, so there's 1 and 2 lines that I drew. I'm going to draw a couple more. So 1, 2. I'm going to take a space, quite a big space. I'm going to leave that red. And then I'm going to come up here and draw another one. So that's 4 lines I've drawn. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to color that in. You get the idea. I got you these big fat Sharpies so we can color it in faster because I knew you guys didn't like those fine ones. There we go. And then I'm going to draw another line up here. You know what? I might be able to fit 6 in this section. You just got to play. It's about 5 or 6 lines that you're going to draw and then color in. Okay, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to work with a messy mat underneath so we don't get Sharpie on the table so you can get that color right to the edge. Okay, so there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you want to draw these guys close together, kind of like that. Okay, then I'm going to skip a section. I'm not going to draw in this one. I'm going to go to this next section and I'm going to do the same thing. Smiley face, or concave. Then I'm going to skip a section. Smiley face, smiley face. You know what? 6, maybe 6 is the number for these. And then I'm going to go ahead and color each section in. I'm going to work like that all the way around. I'm going to draw, skip, draw, skip, draw, skip, draw, skip. Okay, so I'm going to speed that up so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so once you have this part, it already looks pretty cool, I think. We're going to do the opposite of concave. So we did concave lines from the center, so concave, concave, like the little smiley mouth. Now in these sections, we're going to do convex. So they flip the other way. So they're like, they remind me of frowny faces. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. But for these ones, we're not going to color it right beside where the color is. We're going to color it beside where there's no color. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to draw my frowny face like so. And I'm going to color in the opposite because I didn't color the tips here. So I'm going to color the tip here. Now I'm going to come up to the next spot, and this is where I'm going to draw my lines. And because in this section, instead of drawing my smiley face from the center, I'm going to draw my frowny face. So watch me. Frown. And I'm going to join it. I'm going to connect it right where my color ends, if you see what I mean. And then I'm going to go up to here where the color is. That's where I'm going to start my next line. So I'm going to draw it like my frowny face right over to that section. And that's what I'm going to color in on this one. So it's kind of like curvy checkers or chessboard, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to color this in like so. Kind of quickly. Okay, so dark section next to where there isn't any color. Open, that's my open red background color, next to where I colored the black on that one. Then I'm going to come up here to the tip of this one. That's where I'm going to draw my next frowny face, and I'm going to mate it up to this side. So you kind of have to take a step back and go big frowny. Then I'm going to come up where the where it meets up here. Do another frowny right to the top. And then I'm going to color that section in. So it's just like each one is very opposite to the next section. Oh goodness, I wish I could color this faster, but you guys get the idea. So I'm going to time lapse the rest of it, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's all done. And it looks cool at that stage, but it's still not the very last section that we're going to do. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh my gosh, it already looks so cool. But we have 2 more steps that we still need to do. So the next step, the second last step, is that we're going to take a black crayon. I'm using these like super fancy crayons that Calvin has because that's what we've got at home right now. But I've got some awesome crayons at school that you can use. We're going to take black crayon, and we're going to use kind of not the very tip. Can you see that? Not the very tip of our crayon. We're going to use kind of like the side to do some shading. So we're going to come where our lines are, and on either side of our lines we're going to do some shading with dark. I'm going to come in on the side and lightly shade about that much on each. And on the bottom it's going to be tighter in, it's not going to be as thick of a shaded line, because we're going to do an optical illusion, so it's going to look like it comes down to a point like that. So we're going to make the shading slightly thicker at the top, like so. Now once you have that kind of shaded in, you see my black here, it's not too dark. I'm going to actually make it a little bit darker really close to the line, because it's going to make it look like this part is curved. I think they kind of even look like pencils like popping off, if you can see on here when I've shaded the dark on the sides. It really helps with the illusion of a curve. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to go darker on this side, then I'm going to come onto this side. I'm also going to shade in, not as thick. We still want a little bit of red coming through. I'm going to go in about that deep on this side, and then darker towards the line. Darker towards the line, lighter, and you could even do a little bit like, doesn't have to be like perfectly straight. I'm going to let you guys kind of experiment with like how fine you kind of like trail off the color there. If that makes sense. Oops, I have a little bit up here I got to do too. Everywhere where you see the background color coming through. Okay, I'm going to do that on every line. So then I'm going to come over to this next section. I'm going to do a little shade in here, a little shade in here. Leave a little space in the middle. This part shouldn't take too long. It goes pretty quickly. A little bit darker towards the line, and it fades to a little lighter here. Lighter towards the middle, darker towards the line. See how that kind of is starting to make it look extra 3D? Okay, line inside, darker toward the edge, like so. So I'm going to do that in time lapse, and then you'll see the final step after. Okay, we're at the last step. I got myself a little light here. It's a fancy little selfie light, so you can see it a little bit better. So last step is you take a white pencil crayon, or if you'd like, you could use an oil pastel, a white oil pastel. I'll have both available. It's up to you. I use both oil pastel and white pencil crayon on this one. On the bottom here, it's white pencil crayon, and at the top it's oil pastel. It's a little bit of a different effect, and we'll try both out on this one too, just to show you what it looks like. So on this one, we kind of like plan where the center of your section is going to be, and you're just going to lightly just kind of run your hand over how you want to do a straight line. You could even do a million times. I'm not even touching the paper yet, just an idea of how I want the line to look. So I'm going to do it about there. I'm going to come in with my white, and I'm going to draw a straight line to the center. Like so. There you go. There's a little bit of light hitting that optical illusion curve. Then I'm going to come over to this next one. Kind of decide where I want my white line to go. I can even do a light white line in the middle, so I make sure it's kind of straight. I'm going to do it about the same width as this white one. And I'm going to go all the way to the tip. So there, that's how my white pencil crayon looks. And I'll show you how it looks with the oil pastel on another one here. It's just exactly the same. I'm going to kind of plan out how I want my line. I'm going to come in lightly, draw a line first. The oil pastel has a bit more color. It's a bit brighter. So if you do use your oil pastel, it's nice to kind of smudge the concave. So where we want it to curve, we'll smudge that way. You can kind of soften it back and forth like that. And it also looks, it's a different effect, but it's not right or wrong. It's whatever you like better. If you like to work with oil pastels, go for it. I think I prefer the pencil crayon, so I'm going to do the rest in pencil crayon. Okay, so I'm going to time lapse that, and then you will see the final product.